Good morning, Marcia Coleman here, and today is Tuesday, so guess what that means? It's Real Estate Talk Tuesday, and I'm here to answer all of your questions to help you meet your dreams at the closing table this year. Yeah, I see it. I see it. These stripes on this shirt are so distracting, but I did it in one take. The content is great, so please just keep listening. Okay, today's question is all about closing costs. What are closing costs? Okay, so most of you already know what a down payment is. Your average down payment, it can be from 0 to 10, 20%, FHA 3.5. I have some conventional zero down, but most of my conventional are now 3%. So we know that you have to have your earnest money and your down payments up front. We've covered that ad nauseum, but a lot of you guys don't completely understand what closing costs are. Closing costs are the buyer's responsibility. Yes, they are. So just like you have to have your earnest money and down payment, you have to have your closing costs. Now, with new construction, a lot of these builders are paying your closing costs or a great portion of them for you. Even with resales, if you hire an agent like me, we're able to negotiate your closing costs. Sometimes I've been successful several times in getting all of the closing costs, and sometimes we get a little bit, sometimes we get a lot, just depending on the case, and each deal is different. But bottom line, regardless of who's paying them, the ultimate responsibility is yours. So let me break down what closing costs are so you will know, and so you can be saving enough money to pay for both in the event you have to pay for all of your closing costs. All right, so what are closing costs? They're part of the funds of the cash to close that you have to bring to the table. A lot of people who don't know, they get to the table or they get to the week of closing and the lender is sending them their final disclosures with all of the numbers, and they're like, wait a minute, you didn't tell me I needed this much. I didn't know it was going to be that much. A lot of times you don't know the actual figure until right before closing, the week of, because the closing attorney has to calculate everything, has to calculate their fees, all the final numbers and all that good stuff. So they are changing. They change. And that's why your lender, which they should be telling you that the numbers that they give you up until the end are only estimates. And if your lender isn't telling you that, that's why I have preferred lenders. I have vetted them. They are going to make sure they educate you so that you will be prepared. So what are closing costs? Let's get to it. You have loan costs. Loan costs can be anything from origination fees. All lenders don't charge origination fees. It's the cost of doing business. That's how they make their money. I happen to work with a few that don't have any origination fees. Love them. Great processing. Also, you have your appraisal fee, which you probably would have paid. Most lenders pay that. They bill you for that before closing, but sometimes it's there. If there's a reinspection fee for your appraisal and they had to go back out, that's going to be included as well. Also, your credit report, there's a credit report fee. If you have an FHA loan, you're going to have a mortgage insurance premium of about 1.5% that's going to sometimes be financed into the loan, sometimes it's not. And then you have your title costs, the fee for the title, the closing fee, the insurance. They have to research the title, so they're going to charge you for getting that title clear. All right, so then you also have other costs. Those costs were associated with the loan. Now there are other costs that may vary from a closing attorney and lender to lender. You have your now some of these won't, of course, like your taxes. There's going to be a fee for recording the deed. All right, just to prove that you own the house. There's going to be mortgage taxes, state transfer taxes. You have your prepaid fees, like your homeowners association fee. You have your homeowners insurance fee. You have your prepaid interest. Depending on what time of the month, that amount can change. So they may give you an estimate of their prepaid interest if you're going to close at the end, but if your closing is delayed and you end up closing in the middle of the next month, then that amount will change. And then you also have property taxes. Then you also have your initial escrow payment. Part of your loan payment every month, because you have your mortgage payment and then you have your escrow tacked on, and that's what you actually pay every month. So you're going to have an initial escrow payment, which is made up of your monthly insurance premium amount and, your monthly tax amount, because your escrow, they take that out every month, and your lender is going to pay your annual tax bill to your county, and they're going to also send your annual premium to your insurance company. So that's also part of your closing costs. Also included, there's going to be an HOA, there may be an HOA closing letter fee. HOAs charge this. I hate this. It's one of the most annoying fees there is, an HOA closing letter. And it takes them forever to get it, but there is an HOA closing letter fee, and any other assessments that may be due from the HOA, the homeowners association, especially if you're moving into a condo. So we just never know. Also, there is title insurance itself. You want to make sure you get title insurance, because if anything ever comes up against the title, somebody else trying to make claim or saying you didn't have the right to purchase that house, then you are insured with the title insurance. So these are just the main fees included with your closing costs that make up that 3 to 5% on the back end of the purchase price. And so now you know what you're being responsible for. A lot of you guys knew about the cost, but you didn't really understand what it was for and what it is. And any good lender will explain to you what each cost is and why it is the amount it is. And I want you to get a lender that will do that and educate you. And of course, I have those lenders. I have several of my preferred lenders that can do that for you. All right, guys, great question. A lot of people aren't prepared for it. I want you to be prepared, because I do want you to meet your dreams at the closing table this year. Keep those questions coming. All right, guys, see you next week.